Hello and happy Friday. I hope everyone's had an awesome week. I hope everybody is having an awesome morning so far. Uh, it is about 8:30. I do these pretty early, so I just woke up maybe a little over an hour ago. Uh, got my coffee, got my video going. Today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about campus ministry. And I know I did a video on campus ministry weeks ago where we provided the meal for Christus Rex, and it's on my mind again this week because I'm going to be doing some campus ministry work here coming up in the next week or so. So I want to tell you about that because I'm pretty excited. So as we all know, Pastor Dominique Buckholes, she went to campus ministry at MSUM Moorhead from Sharon here. And I was really excited when that happened because I went to MSUM Moorhead. I'm a grad from there. I'm an alumni, and I have nothing but really good memories of that school, and a lot of my time there was really awesome. Uh, and what's awesome is that I know that there's somebody there in their campus ministry who's going to care for the students population of that school, and who's going to do some great work for them. So it gives me a lot of confidence, and it really makes me kind of proud that somebody I know is caring for that population and caring for a school that is close to my heart. Right. I spent 5 years at MSUM Moorhead. Kind of went in and out of different programs. I went there for broadcasting originally to be on the radio. That was my dream. I was going to be this radio star. Back when radio was still like a thing you could be a star in, right? Now it's mostly automated playlists, and there's maybe like one or two people who do small talking segments, and then if you're got a national syndicated show, you maybe make some good money at it. Like I think Ryan Seacrest still has radio, and like some people do satellite, like Howard Stern and stuff like that. I bring back to Howard Stern. You all know him. He coined the term shock jock, right? Doing outrageous things on the radio. When I graduated high school in the year 2000, that was kind of sort of at the height of his popularity. And so anybody who went to MSUM to be in broadcasting, and I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I know what a lot of us were thinking. We were going to be the next multi-millionaire radio host. And it didn't quite work out that way because the reality of the situation, there's only a handful of people ever who have been on the radio and been that successful. So I remember our professor one day, this was about a year, I think, year and a half into the program. Our professor kind of sat us down one day, all the media people, and he said, "Who's going into radio?" And we all raised our hands. And he goes, "Here's the reality of your situation. You are going to probably end up at a small radio station, basically just switching out liners, which are the things that run in between or in front of or behind songs, that like the call signs and commercials and things like that." And he said, "You're probably going to make a salary where you're not going to be able to support much. Like maybe you can support yourself. It's going to be really hard to support a family." And that isn't the case for everybody I know who went into radio, but generally you have to do a lot of office work and be a program director and do a lot of the administrative stuff to make that work. And I think a lot of us in that class that I was in just wanted to be radio personalities on the air, and you don't get to do that all the time. So I remember when he told me that, I was like, well, I better find a career where I can make some money. And I remember I went into teaching after that. So I did about a year in the teaching program, and I did some shadowing and student teaching through that at Moorhead High School. And I didn't like that either because, shock of shocks, I was 21 years old, something like that. And I was like 22-ish, 20, something like that. I found out I didn't like kids at the time. And so I remember being in these classrooms and just like my blood would boil at the way these kids were behaving, which is funny because I was like 3 years removed from being one myself. And I remember I was not the greatest student either. So I just remember not doing so well there. And then I got out of teaching because I was just like, I don't think I like the kids. I don't think I can do this. So then I went into, well, what am I best at? Well, I got the best grades in history class. So I'm like, okay, switch my major to history, Bachelor of Arts. And that's where I went from there until 2005 when I graduated from MSUM. So I have a background in history. And that is something that I really do enjoy, learning about the past, learning how events influence other events, and learning how we repeat some of the same things that had happened hundreds and thousands of years ago. And seems like sometimes humanity never learns from itself. But it's an interesting topic, right? And it also it tells you about where we're maybe headed, because you can see things that are similar to events that have happened in the past, and you know where you might end up. So that's kind of my college career, right? I've got a Bachelor of Arts in History from MSUM, and one of the really cool things is that God changes you, right? I mentioned earlier that I tried teaching and I didn't like kids at the time, and it didn't work out so well. You wouldn't know that now, right? I get along really well with college age high schoolers, middle schoolers, grade schoolers. I just have a great time with kids now. I love it. It's my life. And so I was drawn to this verse from 2 Corinthians today, 2 Corinthians 5:17. So if anyone is in Christ, there is a new creation. Everything old has passed away. See, everything has become new. And that's kind of the story of me in a nutshell, right? Everything has become new. I found my calling. I found where God was calling me and what God wanted me to do, and I followed that. And I haven't looked back since, and it's been awesome. So anyway, back to MSUM. I'm really glad that campus ministry is there. And when I was there, I did not take advantage of it. I did not go to church. I was not a big church person. What is awesome, though, is that Pastor Dominique is doing a series on tough questions of faith right now for her services on Wednesday night. And she asked me if I'd like to come down and talk to the students, about my story, how we went through a battle with cancer with our daughter, some of the tough things that I had to work through there, and some of the realizations I came to, and how that series of events ultimately made me the person I am today. And I'm really excited to do that. It's really a neat thing to go back to a place where I was a completely different person when I was there, and to get to show them who I am now and how you can change from, it's been 20 years now since I first really set foot on that campus. And in that 20 years, I have grown and changed so much, and I'm so excited to talk to them about that and talk to them about my journey to where I am now. And so, that's really awesome. Earlier that day, so that's next Wednesday, the 21st, I'll be down there doing that. But earlier that day, Dominique and I and some of the students are going to go over to what's called the neighborhood church in Fargo. And I'm not 100% up on what they are about, but here's the basic gist of the story, the way I understand it. It was a congregation that had to disband their church, but then they found a way to make a community church that invites everybody. And they have I think they have a headquarter building, but they're really not how you would picture a church. They minister to the community that they're in. They do a lot of outdoor services. They do work in their community. They have Pastor Jessica Miller. So I'm excited to meet her next week. I think that's going to be a really awesome experience. Somebody who basically built this, built and changed and re-envisioned how this church could look. So that's really cool. What we're going to do is a pop-up food pantry. They provide food to the people in their community. So we're going to go over there and help them with that and set up, distribute food, whatever needs to be done. And then, we're going to learn more about the neighborhood church. So one of the things you could do, if you want to learn about them, they're at their website is tncfargo.com. So the letter T, the letter N, the letter C, fargo.com. Learn about them. I think this is a really good story and a really cool story about how church can change. And we talk a lot about how the church is not the building. This is one of the ultimate examples of it, right? The church is not the building there. The church is the community. the church is the people, it is a completely different way of looking at church. And so I think if you go to that website, read up on them. You can go to their Facebook page too. They're called the Neighborhood Church. Their pastor is Jessica Miller. And I think you will, it's a really inspiring story about how something wonderful and beautiful came out of a loss. And so that's really cool. The other thing I wanted to talk about with campus ministry this week is that we will be doing a campus ministry Sunday service, November 8th. It's going to air. I got to spend some time over at Christus Rex with Deacon Sharon and Pastor Chad, planning some of the things. What you're going to see in that service in a few weeks is some of their students doing some of the pieces of worship, like the prayers and the readings. I believe Sharon or Chad are going to be preaching that day. They'll still be on our one story lesson. I gave them the idea of what we're talking about. But it's really cool. We get to have this relationship, and that is also what falls under my young adult umbrella. So I'm the director of high school and young adults. Well, young adults is anywhere from 20s to 30s, right? So college age up to about, I would consider, I'm 39, so I consider myself still a young adult. And you could, really young is a state of mind, right? But I minister to everybody. But there is like this section that I minister to specifically. So I'm really excited to present Campus Ministry Sunday. I think it's so important that we offer those pieces. And I think it's so important that we let young people who graduate high school know that there are places for them in this synod. If they choose to stay at UND, if they go to NDSU, they can talk to Kim and Dave Adams at Crossroads. Concordia, Kim and Dave are the campus pastors there. If they go to MSUM Moorhead, my alma mater, Pastor Dominique is there for them. And it's just such a wonderful network of forward-thinking, new ideas, these people that have this heart for ministry in a space where from about the age of 19 till about, mid 30s, late 30s, that's a tough space sometimes. And that's a time when a lot of people go away from the church after high school, and do they come back, And so it's good to have these people when you send your young people off to college to know that there are people on campus that care for them and that minister to them and want to help them. I'm really excited to present that. I'm just excited to have these partnerships with campus ministry. Makes me feel really good to be involved. And it just is one of those life-giving things I get to do. I get a lot of energy from the kids. I get a lot of energy from our high schoolers. When you talk to young adults, college-age students, that's when you really dive in and get deep with your talk, right? So it's a new level of discussion, and I really do enjoy that. So I want to thank everybody who does campus ministry everywhere. You people are so important at shepherding people to their faith and helping them wrestle with those questions, especially as they get older and they start to really dig in and figure out what they're about and who God is to them. So next Wednesday, the 21st, I'll be down at MSUM helping out with some food distribution, helping out with a worship service, and in about 2 to 3 weeks, November 8th, you'll see Campus Ministry Sunday. I'm really excited to present that to you. So until next week, stay safe. You are not alone. Enjoy each other's company when you can. Do some Zoom calls, phone calls, lawn visits, whatever you want to do. Just go out there and spread God's love to everybody, and know that the person you are right now might not be the person you are tomorrow, 20 years from now. God changes you. Follow the call. Have a nice day. Bye.